Picture this: a legendary singer, a packed event, and an unexpected moment that left everyone stunned. Udit Narayan, a name that takes us back to the golden days of melody, found himself in the middle of a storm, not for his music, but for an impulsive act that crossed a line. A kiss, a fan, a moment that sparked outrage. But here's the real question. Was it just an impulsive moment of affection, or does it reveal something much deeper? A sense of entitlement? A disregard for boundaries? Or perhaps a belief that fame grants permission to act as one pleases? Could this be a glimpse into the mind of a narcissist? By the end of this video, you'll not only understand how incidents like these reflect the traits of narcissistic men, but also how to protect yourself from their manipulative charm. Stick with me, because what we're about to uncover will change how you see relationships and power dynamics forever. But first, let's explore what narcissism really is, and why it's not always easy to recognize. Narcissism. The word gets thrown around a lot these days. We think of it as someone who's obsessed with their looks, loves their reflection, or takes one too many selfies. But narcissism is so much more than that. It's not just a personality quirk. It's a deep-rooted disorder that can silently destroy relationships and leave emotional scars that last for years. Men in particular don't just crave attention. They demand control. They don't just want admiration. They feel entitled to power over others. They don't just cross boundaries. They act like those boundaries don't even exist. And here's the kicker. Narcissists don't always show their true colors up front. They come wrapped in charm, success, and often a respectable persona. That's what makes them so dangerous. This brings us back to Udit Narayan. His recent incident where he kissed a fan without her consent sparked a debate. Was it just an impulsive act? Or was it a sign of entitlement? A glimpse into a mindset where desires overshadow respect for others? Keep watching, because we're about to break down how this incident mirrors the behavior of many narcissistic men, but it teaches us about protecting ourselves. Let's start by uncovering the hidden traits of narcissistic men. Part 1. The hidden traits of narcissistic men. There are 3 major traits that narcissistic men exhibit. And trust me, once you see these patterns, you'll never unsee them. Grandiosity. Narcissistic men believe they're above the rules, above norms, and sometimes above consent. This inflated sense of self-worth leads them to act impulsively, without considering consequences. Fame, success, or power often amplifies this belief. Think about it. When Udit Narayan kissed a fan in public, was it about affection, or was it about a belief that his actions wouldn't be questioned? Need for control. Narcissists thrive on exerting power, whether it's emotionally, physically, or socially. They feel entitled to act as they please, often assuming others will stay silent. This is why setting boundaries with narcissists can feel impossible. Lack of empathy. This is the most dangerous trait. Narcissistic men don't think about how their actions affect others. They only care about their desires. Whether it's ignoring consent, belittling their partner's feelings, or manipulating situations to their advantage, it's always about them. Sound familiar? If you've ever been with someone who disregards your feelings, manipulates situations, or makes you question your self-worth, chances are you've encountered a narcissist. But how does this behavior affect those around them, both women and men? Let's dive deeper. Part 2. The real-world impact of narcissism. Narcissism isn't just a women's issue. It affects everyone. For women, being with a narcissistic man often means feeling emotionally drained, unheard, and manipulated. You might find yourself constantly walking on eggshells, trying to please someone who can never be satisfied. Over time, this can chip away at your self-esteem, leaving you questioning your own worth. For men, the impact can be just as profound. Many men grow up in homes where fathers or male role models display narcissistic behavior. This normalizes toxic traits and creates a cycle where boys unconsciously replicate what they've seen, or struggle with emotional intimacy, because they've been taught that vulnerability is weakness. The bottom line? Narcissism poisons relationships, whether it's romantic, family, or even platonic. And unless we address it, the cycle continues. So how do you protect yourself from narcissists? And is there any hope for change? Let's find out. Part 3. How to protect yourself from narcissists. If you're dealing with a narcissist, whether it's a partner, friend, or even a public figure you admire, here's how to take back control. Set clear boundaries. Narcissists hate boundaries. They'll test them, push them, and try to break them. Stand firm and don't let them guilt trip you into compromising. Recognize manipulation. Gaslighting, blame shifting, and guilt tripping are their tools of choice. If someone consistently makes you feel like you're the problem, you're likely being manipulated. Detach emotionally. Stop expecting them to change. Narcissists rarely take accountability, and waiting for them to change will only drain you further. Focus on your emotional health instead. Surround yourself with support. Whether it's therapy, friends, or self-education, having a solid support system will help you stay grounded. The Udit Narayan incident wasn't just a random event. It was a wake-up call. It exposed how normalized certain behaviors are, and how, if we don't call them out, we allow them to continue unchecked. So what's the lesson here? Narcissistic men don't just hurt the people closest to them. They set a dangerous precedent for what's considered acceptable behavior. By recognizing these patterns, setting boundaries, and refusing to tolerate toxic behavior, we can start to break the cycle. But it starts with us. It starts with calling out red flags when we see them, and refusing to let charm, status, or nostalgia blind us to the truth. Which brings me to my final question. How many times have we ignored red flags because we didn't want to believe the truth? And more importantly, what would happen if we stopped tolerating these behaviors and started holding people accountable, no matter their status? Drop your answers in the comments. I want to hear your stories. If this video opened your eyes, imagine how many others need to hear this message. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video. It's not just about raising awareness. It's about creating a community where healthy relationships thrive. And with Valentine's Day around the corner, love is in the air, but so is deception. Don't miss my next video. Are you dating a narcissist? You won't believe the red flags most people ignore. Trust me, it might just change your life.